So we all know, Destiny 2 will have a ton of different changes compared to Destiny 1. And with those changes, some people are very happy with them. Some people are very negative about them. Me, I'm kind of in between. And the reason why is because I see all the changes very beneficial for PvP. But I'm struggling to see the benefit side for PvE. And the reason why is for many different things. And I'm going to be talking about a lot of those things with this video. But for starters, let me just talk about the benefits for PvP. Well, let's first look at weapons. In Destiny 1, we had a primary, a special weapon, and a heavy weapon. And in Destiny 2, it's changed to primary, energy, and power. Your primary is just as usual, primary. Energy weapons is basically another primary, just with a burn on it. And power weapons are basically everything that was in Destiny 1 that was a special, now transferred into the power weapon slot. And that also shares with rockets and LMGs and the new revealed grenade launcher. So, how does this really benefit PvP though? Well, as I've seen and how they actually explained it is that energy weapons, yes, it's not a special weapon anymore, it's not a shotgun, it's not a sniper, but they said if you use your energy weapon on someone who's in a super, it'll actually do more damage to them. It doesn't matter if it's like a solar, arc, or void, and they're whatever burn. Like you don't have to basically have the same burn. As long as you're using your energy weapon on them and it has the burn on it, it's going to do more damage to them. That's a pretty good benefit for PvP. And of course, having two primaries, I think, is a really good idea because you can actually kind of work out your setup where you have many different ranges to work with. Like have a hand cannon for close range and have a pulse rifle for longer range. And putting all special weapons now into the power slot basically doesn't give them the excuse to make shotguns, snipers, and fusion rifles weak anymore, because now it's a power weapon, so it should be powerful. And if the rumors are true about Destiny 2's subclasses, then we can see a lot of beneficial use for PvP with these changes, because every super is essentially turning into an offensive super. So a lot of those defensive supers in Destiny 1 will basically go bye-bye. So no more Bubble Titan, I guess. So that doesn't seem all that bad for PvP, but what about PvE with these changes? Well, that's where my main concern is at, because all these changes seem very beneficial for PvP, but I'm really struggling on seeing where the benefits are for PvE when it comes to how the raid's gonna work and how just overall PvE will feel like. Because one of the main factors with PvE was you were able to run with a sniper and a rocket launcher for strikes, for raid, for anything PvE. And now that everything's been switched to power slots, I'm really concerned that maybe they won't make that realization that, oh, we gotta also change how we work things when it comes to the PvE aspect, because damage is obviously going to be a very big difference compared to Destiny 1. Now, weapons, I'm not too concerned about, because they can just tweak the numbers. But when it comes to different mechanics for raids, that's a big problem. Now, one of the things that I always assumed with Destiny 1, and I was basically told, you're dumb, and that was, hey, I'm going to use my slam on the boss and do tons of damage, because it's a super after all. And of course, in the end, I learned that using a slam against a boss is not that smart, because it's just not going to do that much damage. Basically, the smart idea is using some subclasses like Night Stalker, like tethering the boss so you can do more damage with your weapons, or having a Bubble Titan put down weapons of light so then you can do more damage to the boss with your weapons. Well, what I said earlier about Destiny 2, if the rumors are true with the subclasses, every subclass is going to be an offensive subclass. So, rest in peace, Bubble Titan. So, I'm looking at all of you, people that say, must have Bubble Titan for Crota Zen to distract the Knights, must have Bubble Titan to do extra damage to Atheon, must have Bubble Titan for the middle part of the Ogre thing for King's Fall. Yeah, those things. Yeah, I'm gonna really miss the Bubble Titan, because it seemed like there were a lot of different subclasses that were defensive, were also very good for PvE. And seeing those basically go away for Destiny 2 is making me concerned. But the reason why I'm not completely freaking out is because they added things and changed things to a lot of these supers that are returning from Destiny 1. Like Striker now is a runaround super. Like you can slam multiple times and you can run and do this like shoulder charge thing as well. And they also added the ability where you can put up this like shield, this like arc ice shield or whatever to hide behind. And that was pretty defensive. So I'm not entirely concerned. Where I'm mainly concerned is, well, more damage to the boss. Because I just talked about how like Defender Titan and the Night Stalker, which Night Stalker, if the rumors are true, is coming with Destiny 2, but not Defender Bubble. But basically, with those supers, you were able to do more damage to the boss because you would use those two together. What I'm really hoping is Bungie is knowing this, that they're like, we just made everything into a offensive super. So let's make these supers also work against bosses now. Now, what I was saying earlier, where I said, I used a slam on a boss and I was called a dumb. Maybe it won't be such a dumb thing to do anymore if they were to make the offensive supers now a lot more powerful against bosses. And that would be great, in my opinion. Like, I would actually not be a dumb using Golden Gun against a boss anymore. Unless, of course, I was running Celestial, but even then, yeah. But I'm not entirely sure if that's what they're going to do. Like, if they're going to make supers into a powerhouse against even bosses. I don't really know. But I would like that, in my opinion. Or at least something to change things to actually work with these changes, because, yeah, No More Bubble Titan is really hitting me hard. Because I'm just realizing, me being a squishy hunter, not having that protective bubble there from my good friend, the Bubble Titan. It's hit me hard there. It really is. But of course, as I said earlier, this is just rumors, but the reason why I feel like this is probably a fact that Bubble Titan is not returning is because, well, one, they said themselves that they want offensive super, so it's, I mean, I thought a funny thing with Bubble Titan where, like, you throw your bubble and you catch people and then you close it on them, crushing them to death. Very violent, but it's just funny to me. But anyways, the reason why I feel like it's a fact that it's not returning is because we have a different Void super replacing that old super from Destiny 1, and with Destiny 2, Titans, their Void super is going to be basically Captain America, where he throws around a Void shield and everything. So yeah, that's where I'm like, this seems pretty true to me. But it's not just Bubble Titan. Like, Sunsingers are also getting replaced. And, well, I mean, Blade Dancer was not really that missed, and basically the new subclass for Hunter is basically Blade Dancer, except he found a stick. Good for you, Hunter. Instead of using 2 knives, use a stick. maybe then you'll actually hit your opponents and not completely miss because you slashed above their head a little bit. But I don't really know, because they can definitely do the way that I just said earlier, where they can make these offensive supers, like, doing, like, damage to the boss will actually do damage, versus Destiny 1, where it basically did much of nothing. Or they can actually just change the mechanics overall for, like, raids and strikes to benefit with these changes. I mean, I'm sure they obviously know we're not running a sniper and a rocket launcher anymore, because all that stuff is shared in the same slot, but still, we don't really know how the raid's gonna be like. But I can think of many different ways that they could switch things up to work with a lot of these changes. I mean, like I said earlier, they can make these offensive supers actually do damage to the bosses, as in versus what it was in Destiny 1, where it tickled them. And they could also make weapons do more damage, like the primaries and stuff, and even the power weapons do more damage, because since everything's now a power weapon now, that was part of Special. There's a ton of different things that they can do to make sure that all these changes are not really affecting in a negative way for PvE. But again, I still have my concerns, but I do have high hopes that they know what they're doing. Because one of the main factors about Destiny 1 was a lot of Destiny players hated that they would love something for PvE, but they would completely destroy it because it was just too powerful for PvP, instead of just making it not as powerful in PvP, but keeping it the way it is for PvE. Like, they just basically wanted to make everything together, like combined, do the same amount of damage, be the same kind of weapon, etc., etc. But overall, it really just didn't make the PvE players happy. And it didn't make me happy either. I didn't like the nerf to sniper rifles for PvE. I didn't like it with a lot of different exotic primaries. I didn't like when they nerfed Galahorn. Like, that really, really hurt me. Like, I really loved Galahorn, and when they made that change, I was upset. But again, it's just taking an account with what they're doing, as in with changes, and trying to find a way where these changes will also work for the other modes. Because right now, it seems like it's a great spot of changes for PvP, but it's really hard for me to really go, yeah, it's 100% great for PvE. Because, yeah, it's, again, like I said, with all the subclasses, how the weapons work, etc. So, I don't know. But of course, I also want to know your thoughts on this whole situation is. So in the comments down below, just tell me what you're thinking about this whole situation. Like, do you think that it's not that bad, or do you think it's pretty bad, or are you kind of in between? I don't know. But I definitely know that I'm not the best at explaining things and facts and everything, so I could also be wrong. So if you want to correct me on anything, just let me know. But either way, thanks for listening. Chibi out.